Let me throw a name at you. This is a guy that I've been thinking about a lot lately that I've come to realize was one of the big stars in Detroit and Toronto in the 50s and into the 60s, but later is probably best known to our generation as the manager of the mighty Igor. Ivan Kalmikoff, tell me a story.
Ivan Kalmikoff, wow. First and foremost, Ivan Kalmikoff had one of the greatest lines in wrestling that I've ever heard. When people would be standing around him, asking for autographs, and he'd be signing autographs. I remember this one time, some big jabroni comes up to him, and he says to Ivan, he says, "How do I get in the wrestling business?" And without missing a beat, Ivan Kalmikoff says, "Buy a ticket." So I always remember that line, and I thought it was the best.
He was a great guy. I remember working in the office, and he used to call on a regular basis. He wanted comp tickets, free tickets for Kobo for some friends of his. And, I had the flexibility to do that, to call Frankie at the box office at Kobo.
Mean old
Remember
Frankie.
him? Yeah, good old Frank. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And 2 tickets for Ivan Kalmikoff. Right.
Well,
But Joyce, the Sheik's wife, found out about it, that I was giving comps to Ivan Kalmikoff on a regular basis, and I got a little dressing down. But you know what? He kept on getting comps.
Yeah.
Because he deserved it.
he was a great guy.
Yeah.
His real name was Ed Bruce. So he wasn't Russian, he wasn't German, he wasn't anything. He was Ed Bruce. And my first encounter with him was I was watching big time wrestling on TV and attending Kobo shows, and I was a young kid. And this one time, I was 12 years old. I'll never forget this. 12 years old, and my aunt had taken me to the Detroit Zoo. So we're going through all the exhibits, and this was at a time when they had Chimp Show in like a little amphitheater. Yeah, chimpanzee.
Yeah.
And, they were riding bikes and doing tricks and, things like that, which PETA, stopped that kind of action. So anyway, at one point we're walking, and we're going by this garbage cans and stuff. So here comes this garbage truck, rolls up, and the guy gets out of the truck, and I'm looking, and it's like, holy but Jesus, that's Ivan Kalmikoff.
You're right, he worked at the Detroit Zoo.
Yes. So he's emptying these garbage cans, and I'm thinking, what's this multi-millionaire, in the wrestling business doing emptying garbage cans?
Well, that's the thing. At that time, they didn't make millions, most of them.
Yeah.
The Sheik was a millionaire a few times over, but he was one of the rare ones.
But remember a time when Ivan Kalmikoff was managing the mighty Igor, and this was the first time they were building up to a match, and Ivan Kalmikoff comes out with a box about this long, and he goes, I finally have the thing that is going to derail the Sheik from the United States Heavyweight Championship. What's in this box is going to do it. And they built this up, and they built this up. And at the Olympia Stadium show, Ivan Kalmikoff comes out with this box with Igor, and the Sheik's in the ring, and Ivan Kalmikoff opens up the box and pulls out a snake. And it's like the Sheik went nuts, went crazy, was running away from this snake, and Ivan Kalmikoff's always trying to get it to him. And that night, the Sheik ended up burning Ivan Kalmikoff with the fire.
You've got pictures.
Yeah, and what happened was Ivan Kalmikoff, he's got a towel over his face and stuff, and we get back into the dressing room, and there was really nothing there. It's the flash paper and stuff. So what happened was he took sandpaper and he rubbed it all over his face until he was blistered beyond belief. And then the next day he goes, let's meet up at the Howard Johnson's in Southfield, on our way to a show, and let's take pictures of my face so we can put them in the body press and show what the Sheik did to him. And then eventually the Sheik later on was carrying the snake around. So it was like he was
Yep.
never afraid. But I think, did you know the name of the sheik snake?
Kibbe,
Kibbe, there you
Yeah.
go. It was the sheik snake.
after the Syrian delicacy that the sheik introduced me to.